So this chapter, the son of Drona punished. So how from Srimad Bhagavatam previous chapter, what was the title of the previous chapter? Conversation between Narada and Vyasa. So there was an important subject matter which was being discussed between the two great personalities, the Guru and his disciple. Then Narada Muni taught him about Srimad Bhagavatam, about his previous life, and all this pastimes. Then suddenly, Ashwatthama's Mahabharata pastime has started. So how this has led to the Ashwatthama's pastime? How it suddenly came up?
About to Parikshit Maharaj.
Why Ashwatthama's pastime is being started? Suddenly. Previous 3 chapters, like 4th, 5th and 6th. 4th chapter is basically about incarnations. 5th and 6th, Narada's and Vasudeva's conversation. So 7th chapter now, so the son of Drona punished. So, the famous verse, Atma Ramascha Muneyo. So, the Shruta Goswami is explaining to the Shaunakadi Rishis. So they asked a question towards the starting of this chapter. Shri Shukadeva Goswami was already on the path of self-realization and thus he was pleased with his own self. So why did he take the trouble to undergo study of such a vast literature? It is referring to which literature? Srimad Bhagavatam. So Shaunaka is asking to Suta Goswami, So Shukadeva Goswami is already a liberated soul. Then why he had to take the trouble of undergoing such vast literature again? Because Srimad Bhagavatam, which contains 18,000 verses, which itself is a huge literature. So why is that so? In reply to that, Suta Goswami explains about the verse, Atma Ramascha Muneyo Nirbrant Api Urukrame Kurvanti Haitukin Bhaktin Ittam Bhoda Guno Harihi. So all varieties of Atma Ramas, those who take pleasure in Atma or spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. The Lord's pastimes are so beautiful, they are so fragrant, they are so melodious. So not only the conditioned souls, even the liberated souls, Atma Ramas also become interested in hearing about his pastimes. That's why one of the name of Bhagavatam is Satvata Samhita and another name Paramahamsa Samhita. So even the Paramahamsas also take pleasure in reading Srimad Bhagavatam. It is not just, for us, it may be a little troublesome. Every day we have to read. But Paramahamsas, for them it's not a trouble. It's not an hardship. For them it's a pleasure. They just keep on reading and relish the glories. So Suta Goswami, when he explained this, so then he starts explaining about, now onwards, I'll in detail, I'll tell you about the pastimes of Lord Krishna, particularly about pastimes of Krishna with Parikshit Maharaj. So when he started explaining about Parikshit Maharaj, describing about Parikshit Maharaj, so how Parikshit was born, we explain the birth of Parikshit Maharaj. So he's explaining how Dronacharya, son of Dronacharya, Ashwatthama released Brahmastra weapon. So that pastime is being described. So in that way, Srimad Bhagavatam, our author of Srimad Bhagavatam is not directly interested in explaining about Mahabharata. Because Mahabharata is again a very vast literature, but Mahabharata is basically, as we have heard in a couple of places, so it's more of a, it's a Vedic literature, no doubt about that, but it's more of stories. So where only those who are not so intelligent, those who are not ready to go through the vast Vedic literatures like Vedanta Sutras, they take up to the study of Mahabharata. So those who are very enlightened, those who are very advanced, will take to the study of Srimad Bhagavatam or Vedanta Sutras. So then why Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining? It is explaining just because it is connected to Krishna. First chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where the armies are being described. So Duryodhana is, Arjuna wanted to see Duryodhana's army. So then Duryodhana saw Pandava's army. So there, this many Akshoini warriors, the strength of the entire Kurus or the Pandavas were, these many Akshoinis were there. These many Akshoinis were the Pandavas team. So that detailed descriptions are there. So many Atirathas, so many Maharathas. So why Bhagavad Gita, which is the very important subject matter for concerning the soul, concerning the bodily concept of life, is describing all those things. So in one of the lecture, Prabhupada mentions to the same verses, Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says, and okay, that is being explained anyway, but why we are reading that? Instead, Bhagavad Gita could have started from chapter 2, which is one of the important chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which contains the entire summary of the next 16 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So it is because it is connected to Krishna. So now Akshwini Sainya, the warriors, Atirathis, Maharathis, how many horses were there, how many elephants were there, how many warriors, those who were fighting from the ground, those who were fighting from the rathas, from the chariots. This all being described just because it is connected to Krishna. It is setting a scene for the next session which is going to start. So here also, these descriptions are given because Suta Goswami is explaining about birth of Parikshit Maharaj and further about his dealings, his activities. So just because it is connected to Krishna and Parikshit Maharaj pastime, it is being explained. So in this verse, in the couple of previous verses, we have heard that how Ashwatthama killed the innocent sons of Pandavas. So mistaking that they are actually the 5 Pandavas. So he beheaded their heads. Then Draupadi comes to know. Draupadi was inconsolably crying. She was filled with distress. So then Arjuna comes and Arjuna pacifies her with very pleasing words, saying that I am going to catch that criminal, a killer who killed your innocent sons. I am going to bring in front of you. Now you give punishment. So now Arjuna starts chasing Ashwatthama to catch him because he has promised Draupadi. So Ashwatthama is running away, and at one point of time Ashwatthama realizes that he can no more protect himself. Why? Because he is running using a chariot, and the horses of the chariot which were driving the chariot became very, very tired. Then he understood they cannot further run. Then obviously Arjuna will chase him from the behind and he will catch him, and he is sure that I will be killed. I will be severely punished. So out of the fear of that punishment, Ashwatthama released Brahmastra, which is known as ultimate weapon or the nuclear weapon. So last couple of months, actually I think it's been a year or more than a year, the major news in the world politics is war. War between Russia and Ukraine, war between Israel and I think Palestine, Gaza, or many other, Lebanon, Hamas, this kind of small provinces fighting between. Even yesterday, Israel has attacked one of the country. I'm not able to exactly recall. It has killed about 300-400 people. So war. So then, why? And if you remember when Russia and Ukraine war started, so it is I think more than a year. I remember because last year during book marathon, suddenly the book prices shot up. Bhagavad Gita, which we used to get at 200 rupees, became 350 rupees. Or something like that. So then we all started wondering, all books in fact, all Prabhupada books which are printed by BBT, they increased the rates. So what was the reason? Russia and Ukraine war. How it is connected to printing of books? because the paper, the raw materials for paper printing or any other printing material, mostly it used to get supplied from Russia and Ukraine. So because of the war, both the countries are busy in war, so they are not concerned about business or any other production now. So it's been more than a year, still it is going on. Still, they are not, looks like they are not in a mood to stop the war. So they could have stopped the war within a week or so. That time when the war started, there was news also that Russia may use nuclear weapon. So Russia is not using because the consequences of using a nuclear weapon, it is not going to be easy. The whole world will get affected, and the Russia also know they cannot just easily use a nuclear weapon like that. Whole world will become against them. They will completely abandon them. So here also it is mentioned the Brahmastra or the nuclear weapon, which is supposed to be used only in the case of when there is no other alternative way for protection. So Brahmastra has to be used, and a person, one who has Brahmastra weapon, he has to know two important things. What are those? One is releasing the weapon, and then when the task is done, he has to withdraw also. He should know these both the things. So here, unfortunately, Ashwatthama knew only one part of the knowledge. He knew he has Brahmastra, he knew how to release the Brahmastra, but he didn't knew how to withdraw that. Like further in this chapter it is being explained. So this is one of the important point, that when certain knowledge or when certain power is being entrusted to a person, one who is not worthy, so that knowledge is going to create havoc. It is not going to create any welfare for any, whether it is human beings or animals or for even himself. It is going to destroy them. Like when Brahma, when he was under meditation, when he was in the midst of deep meditation, so he forgot, when Brahma is in meditation, what happens? He is in trance. So when he is in trance, from his mouth Vedas started coming out. So Brahmaji is not aware what is actually happening. So two demons come. Recently we had discussed about that past time, Madhu and Kaitaba. So they stole the Vedas, Vedic knowledge. Then immediately the Lord appeared in the form of Hayagriva. And he killed Madhu and Kaitaba and reclaimed Vedic knowledge and entrusted back to Brahma. So what was the reason? What is wrong for Madhu Kaitaba taking away? Because such important knowledge, if it is entrusted to an unworthy person, those who doesn't know how to utilize that knowledge, they are going to create havoc. That's why right knowledge to a right person, then only he can use that knowledge at a right purpose at right place. The knowledge should be in the hands of a right person, then he will be able to use that in a right purpose at right place. Here Ashwatthama, there is no big deal to use weapon like Brahmastra. Brahmastra is used when there is a universal calamity. Protect someone from that universal calamity or for some any great welfare activity, then only it has to be used. But Ashwatthama, because he was not properly trained, he was not properly matured in knowledge. He used prematurely. So Prabhupada elaborately explains here, Ashwatthama is being referred as son of a Brahmana. He's mentioned as Atmatranam Dvijatmajaha. Atmatranam means just to save himself, Dvija Atmajaha, the son of a Brahmana. Why he is called a son of a Brahmana? He could have been directly called as Brahmana also. Yes, he is a son of Brahmana, he is son of Dronacharya. That is fact. But more than that, generally a person should be glorified by his own qualities. So here, because he was not a Brahmana, he was just a son of a Brahmana. Another place, in the Vedic literature, the term used is Brahma Bandhu. Brahma Bandhu. Brahma Bandhu means a friend of a Brahmana. Here it is mentioned as Dvijatmajaha. Dvija Atmajaha, one who is a son of a Dvija Brahmana. So one cannot claim himself as Brahmana just by the reason of he becoming taking birth in the family of a Brahmana. He has to possess the qualities of a Brahmana. Then only he can be called as a Brahmana. Otherwise, he will be called as either Dvijatmajaha or Brahma Bandhu or Dvija Bandhu. So he cannot claim himself as a Brahmana unless he is qualified or worthy. So what is there from this instance which as devotees we have to learn, we have to practice, we have to apply in our life? So if you consider someone asks us, who are you? Which sampradaya you belong to? Or, suppose when you go to hospital or any government thing, they ask, what is your name? What is your father name? What is your caste? So what we tell? We tell Vaishnavas. We tell I belong to Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON. We belong to Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. I'm a disciple of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. I'm a Vaishnava. So this is how we introduce ourselves. So but truly, if we introspect and see, are we real Vaishnavas? Or are we real Brahmanas? Because we are wearing sacred thread, we do chant Gayatri, we do engage in the deity worship. So can we claim ourselves as Brahmanas? Yes or no? Can we claim? No. Why no? If it is so, then why are you wearing a sacred thread? Why are you chanting Gayatri? Moving in that direction. So then when you become perfect, then only you should be here. Otherwise you should call yourself as Brahma Bandhu, not Brahmana. We should not call it as Brahmana initiation. We should call it as Dvija Atmaja bhi nahi hai many of our cases. Maybe we can say Brahma Bandhu or Dvija Bandhu. Basically, Brahmana Diksha, what we get is Pancharatriki Brahmana Diksha, which is meant to enable us to engage ourselves in the worship of the deities. In fact, not actually worship of the deities, it is to assist a spiritual master in worshipping the deities. That's why it is known as Pancharatriki Brahmana Diksha. Pancharatra, because Pancharatra, as per the rules which Narada Muni has listed out, one has to take second initiation, Dvija. One has to become Dvija before start worshipping the Supreme Lord. So even assisting the spiritual master, one should become Dvija or Brahmana, twice born. So it's a Pancharatriki Brahmana. So then, if you consider even, are we really capable, are we really qualified to even assist Srila Prabhupada or our spiritual master in worshipping the deities? It's a mercy of Srila Prabhupada who has enabled on his authority. Sometimes it happens, right? When a person is traveling, a big man, a businessman is traveling. So in his absence, his business, his activity should be going on. It should not stop. So what he does? He gives power of attorney. He gives power of attorney to some person. On my absence, this person, so and so person is authorized to sign or engage in the business dealings or blah blah blah, whatever. So he lists out his responsibilities, which is a power of attorney person can take over. Sometimes when you want to take a loan from any bank or any cooperative society, what they ask n number of documents. So even after providing documents, they will say you should provide a guarantee. You should get a guarantee. So someone who is associated with our bank and one who is doing good business, he should give guarantee. Then only we will give money. Why? Because the bank has no trust on you. Our bank has no confidence that what will happen in case if you are not able to pay that loan. So there is a guarantee on his behalf, on his assurance, they are giving the loan. If something goes wrong, they will catch that guarantor. Similarly, in our case, Srila Prabhupada has made on his own spiritual strength, he has given a kind of a power of attorney for us to become qualified, even though not qualified. But Prabhupada is making us qualified to be engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord. If someone becomes proud, if someone becomes arrogant, just because now I am a devotee, I have taken saffron, I am second initiated, or I am so many years in the movement. So we should actually reflect back that what the so many years of my spiritual life in that moment, or whatever potency I have got, whatever knowledge I have got, even whatever material power I have got, it's all because of whom? It's all because of Srila Prabhupada, who has, out of his causeless mercy, has given something from his infinite spiritual mercy. He has infinite mercy. From that, he has given something to us. Because of his assurance, because of his mercy, we are claiming ourselves as Vaishnavas today. Just imagine, if not Srila Prabhupada in our life, what we would have been. When we go out today, when we introduce ourselves, we are coming from Hare Krishna movement, or we are coming from Akshay Patra, we are coming from ISKCON. The kind of respect we get from the people, it is because of whom? It is because of Srila Prabhupada. It's because of his organization. You don't use the organization name. Remove your dress and go and try to meet that person. What will happen? No one will care for us. No one will care. You just go and meet a person, try to meet. On the other hand, you try that you're the son of a very big businessman. Then you try to go. Your path, your access becomes so easy. Why? Because your father is a businessman, because your father is a reputed man. So what we have got today, whether it is knowledge, whether it is the spiritual life which we are practicing, the number of years, the upadhis which we have got, whatever the upadhis may be, unit head, the divisional head, HOD, VP, TP, GBC, whatever. It's all because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. And now we have received Prabhupada's mercy, no doubt about that. After receiving the mercy, how we are supposed to act? We are supposed to act how we are supposed to act? Responsibly. If you are not responsible, what will happen? Even that upadhi, even that whatever knowledge you have got, it will become a stumbling block for your spiritual life. It will never be for any welfare activity of an organization or for your own devotional life. Like how Ashwatthama, he's having such a great parentage. Born as a son of a great Brahmana, Dronacharya, who is guru to Pandavas and Kauravas both. Even Pandavas respect him like anything. So he's born as a son of that personality. And the disciples who are trained by Dronacharya, who were they? Arjuna, even Ekalavya, without formally getting initiated, without formally getting trained by Dronacharya, he became such a great archer. Just because following his instructions from distance. So he's such a great teacher. He has created such wonderful disciples, great archers, great intelligent personalities like Yudhishthira. But his son Ashwatthama, what is he doing? People, the Vedic literatures are the authorities. Those who have written these Vedic literatures are not ready to even call him as a Brahmana. Forget about calling him as a great student of Dronacharya. He is being called as a son of a Brahmana. It is such a shame on the part of Ashwatthama. Even though he has got such great benefit of being born in that great parentage, he is not able to utilize just because of his arrogance, just because of his wrong association. He had equal opportunity to associate with Pandavas and Kauravas. He is a son of their spiritual master. He had access to both of them equally. But whom did he choose? He chose Kauravas. He chose Duryodhana as his close friend. Why he actually chose Duryodhana? So did someone told him, or was there any instance as such? So far, in any of the Vedic literatures which I have read, I have not come across any such instance. Why he developed friendship? It is because of his nature, gunas. Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. Opulence attracts opulence, poverty attracts poverty. That's a saying. So because even though born as a son of Dronacharya, but Ashwatthama was in such, he covered by those three modes of material nature, or combination of three modes of material nature, which propelled him to take association of Duryodhana. Like honeybees are housefly, like crows are swans. So he had great opportunity. But unfortunately, he went into association of Duryodhana. Then whatever, at least certain good things he had, he lost those things also. So he could not even distinguish between Pandavas and their innocent children, those who were sleeping. And especially, even a warrior cannot even imagine of killing a person who is sleeping. Forget about even small children. He is called as aggressor. What is that word which is used in Bhagavad Gita first chapter? Atataina, aggressors. So he's one of the aggressors. There is no wrong in Arjuna killing him. But Arjuna did not kill him because Draupadi didn't wanted, the Ashwatthama's mother to become more distressed. Already she has lost her husband. Now even if son is also lost, because for a woman, either husband or son is supposed to give protection. So then she will be bereft of any protection. She will be bereft of his near and dear ones. So Prabhupada compares that to the nature of Draupadi as, Prabhupada also glorifies her because of her great quality, thinking about Dronacharya's wife, and also a mere weak-heartedness of a womanly nature, feminine nature. So we have to remember whatever we have got today. In one of the recent lecture, not recent week, I heard about it's a recorded lecture which I heard recently. Madhu Pandit Prabhu, he was mentioning about like cooks in our temple, or pujaris in our temple, or any other assistants for say, if you consider. So morning time, generally they don't get time to chant with other devotees during Brahma Muhurta. Chanting of Hare Krishna mantra during Brahma Muhurta is the most auspicious and suitable time to finish our rounds. But pujaris, mostly they don't get time to finish in the Brahma Muhurta time. And we know when we have not finished our chanting in the morning, daytime it becomes a little troublesome. The quality of chanting may not be as good as chanting during Brahma Muhurta time. But because it's our authorized service, we are being protected. So now, some devotees are taking that special austerity of sacrificing their sadhana, chanting time, and engage in deity services. So then how we can pay back to them? How we can express our gratitude to the devotees? Because we are chanting peacefully. Now we are sitting and discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. Immediately after Bhagavatam class gets over, we are welcomed with a delicious prasadam in APH. No working. I have not done anything, but just I attended Prasad Bhagavatam and I am going and prasadam is ready. So it is because of some devotees' austerity, their mercy. We are living at their mercy. Then how we can properly express gratitude? How we can express gratitude to them? go and massage their feet, glorify them. How we can express our gratitude? By doing our service sincerely. That is the way of showing our gratitude. We have taken benefits. Now we are sitting and peacefully we are able to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Outsiders, just imagine what would have been their condition at this point of time. They would have slept late. They would have woken up late. They will be late for the office. They will be running to get ready. And so many things will be, moving around in their head. Oh, this meeting is there, that meeting is there. Yesterday, boss had given me this task. That project is still pending. That report is yet to come. MIS has to be prepared. Meanwhile, son's school fees has to be submitted. Wife has requested for a jewelry in coming festival. I have to purchase a saree. EMI is pending. रेंटेड हाउस कब तक जिएंगे, कब तक रहेंगे रेंटेड हाउस पे, खुद का मकान लेना पड़ेगा. So many pressures are there for a person. The moment he wakes up. But what are we? Have we ever felt those kind of pressures? Zero anxiety, zero material anxiety. Why? How this miracle has happened? It is just because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. He has given us that special opportunity of sitting anxiety free and doing morning sadhana. Actually, many a times I give this example to our employees when we especially take employees classes. We ask them to, the moment they come to the temple, they can punch, they can mark their attendance, come to the temple, finish their rounds, then go back and work. Which organization or which company asked them to come and do meditation before? The moment you come, they will tell the task, you should finish your task first. First of all, if you are late, they will deduct your salary. But here, we are saying to the employees, come and chant. Who has got that golden opportunity of coming to the office? In the office hours, it is your official hours for which you are being paid. We are paying him and asking him to sit and chant. Someone is being paid to sit and chant. Such a golden opportunity. And we are, for us, you meet any senior devotees for any association, what will they first ask? How are you? How is your sadhana? They will not ask how much collection are you doing. That may be the last question, or may not ask also. If you are going for association, first thing they will ask is, how is your sadhana? How is your reading? So the most important thing, for that, the entire facility is being created. Even during GBC meetings, they spend hours together. How we can, increase devotees' reading time. We tell the devotees during Ekadashi officially, you can sit and chant. You can miss your services. Who can get this golden opportunity? But if you are not utilizing this, and if you are not sincere in our services, then we have to pay back. For every facility you are taking from either anyone, whether it is from government or from organization, and if you are not utilizing that facility properly, what will happen? You have to pay back. In the case of government, they will punish you. In the case of devotional life, your progress is checked. You are incurring sinful activity in that way. So we have to think. So how we can actually pay back to the pujaris or cooks, or to the even organization, Srila Prabhupada organization, which has provided such a beautiful facility for us. By rendering our services sincerely, by using that time for Krishna's service. So we go out and we collect Lakshmi from the people and we bring it and surrender to the organization for the preaching mission. In case, if we are misusing even a single penny from that, what will happen? We have to suffer for that sinful activity. Even one single paisa, if it is wasted, because it is Krishna's money, that fellow has given for Krishna's service, not for your self gratification. So you will get benefit if it is used for Krishna service. If you have done your duty properly. If you are not done, then that will become Yagnarthat Karmano Anyatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhanaha. Every activity in Krishna consciousness has to be performed as Yajna, as an offering to Lord Vishnu. Yajna means what? Another name of Vishnu. As an offering to Vishnu, as a satisfaction to Vishnu. If it is not so, Lokoyam Karma Bandhanaha. We will get caught up in that Karma Bandha, in the cycle of that sinful activities. So, even sense gratification in the name of Krishna consciousness is also a sinful activity. So that can never stop our devotional service, but it can slow down our process. So we have to remember. So here Ashwatthama is born with all such boons, but still he is not able to utilize. This is the great misfortune. Being born with all facilities, all good parentage, and access to all kinds of best of the education. He is a son of Dronacharya. He could have become, best archer than Arjuna, because he's a son. Father would have taught him, giving extra time. But he didn't have any inclinations. That's why Dronacharya also thought, because any person who is, especially in the Vedic life, they were not so blind as such. They knew what is fate. They knew what is the Lord's wish. So Dronacharya also thought, whatever the Lord is wishing, it will happen. Who am I to break my head so much? He warned him, don't make friendship with Duryodhana. But in spite of that, he didn't hear. So Dronacharya left him. Okay, it's your wish, it's your path. So similarly, after taking to Krishna consciousness, because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, if you are not utilizing, what will happen? Still Prabhupada will try from so many means, from so many different ways and means. Either personally or through his books or through some devotees or through some karmis as well. So Prabhupada will never leave. But in spite of that, if you are not becoming serious, if you are wasting our precious time, then what will happen? Prabhupada also will leave it. Okay, let him take further many more lives. Then he will realize the value of this devotional service. Then only we can actually, become serious. So once our devotee is recalling from in the memories of Srila Prabhupada, it's in 1980s after Srila Prabhupada's physical departure in Bangalore. So the that time Bangalore had a small ISKCON center. So a devotee who was an LLP preacher, his job was to go and meet people and make life membership. Previous ISKCON all started with life membership. That time life membership amount was 2,222. What was the first life membership amount? Anyone remembers? 1111. 1111. So that was the first life membership. Then later when it was revised, it made it to 2222, 2,222 rupees. So devotee is basically his target was to make at least 2 life memberships in a month. 1980s in Bangalore city, like a Bangalore, which was not IT city by then. Bangalore was an ordinary city like Jaipur, Kota, with no much business as such. Of course, it was a capital. So he had a target of making 2 life memberships, but with great difficulty, he could achieve. That means he was not even making either 0 or sometimes 1, sometimes nothing. So one fine day he calls one person named Mr. Ganguly. So Ganguly means he's a Bengali, settled in Bangalore, a businessman in Bangalore. So then the moment this devotee introduced himself as, I am coming from ISKCON, Hare Krishna movement, I am a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, I want to meet you. Immediately Ganguly said, oh please come tomorrow at 11:30 to my residence. So it was residence come office. It was, so then when a devotee goes, he was thinking any XYZ person is, has called him, so he's going. Ganguly means I can try to influence him because he's a Bengali. When devotee goes there, he sees that it was not just house, it was a mansion. It was like a mini palace. It was so huge, very opulent. That means he was a well-established businessman. Then devotee thought, "Ye bhi gaya." Because when they are too rich, they may not be inclined to spiritual life. So he may not take up membership also. That time ISKCON was not a household name. And ISKCON had many theories also. They are CIA agents, they are this, they are that. So then devotee goes to secretary and tells him that, the Mr. Ganguly had given me time. Then he checks with Ganguly. Then Ganguly immediately calls him. Devotee goes. Then the moment he goes, he sees his office like it's like another assembly hall. His office itself. He was sitting in a posh chair. In front of him is a very expensive table. So then he starts explaining that, you are a Bengali. Our spiritual master was also a Bengali. He has taken this hardship of expanding the Hare Krishna movement throughout the world. So now we want to expand it in Bangalore. For that, we need your cooperation. So this, that. So then looks like that person was not impressed. Then second attempt he makes, you will get these benefits, you will get this, you had already carried a set of books, I'm going to gift you this set of books, you will get this facility, we have our center in Bombay, in Kolkata, whenever you go, you can stay in our guest house. Still that person was not, seemed to be interested. Then he said somehow, he was trying his best to convince. So then that person immediately said, okay, I'm going to give you a donation. From the donation, you can make me life member also. So he makes a check of 10,000 rupees. The devotee, he had given a form which we have clearly mentioned, double two amount. But he made a check of 10,000 rupees and he said, this is my donation. So along with that, you can make me, if you wish, you can make me a life member also. So then after that, that person said, actually, I am not at all impressed with the way you are presenting, because the devotee seemed to be not a very good LLP preacher as such, not so equipped with the techniques which an LLP preacher should be having. So that person said, I was not at all impressed with the way you presented. Devotee also said, I am also sure that you are not impressed by your face, body language, and I could understand you are not impressed with my technique of convincing. So then that person continued, in spite of that I gave you this donation, there is a reason behind this. Your spiritual master was classmate of my father. They were very close friends. So then he started narrating. The very purpose I called you, gave you an appointment and called you was to narrate this pastime, narrate this story which I have practically seen in my eyes when I was a boy, when I was a child. So your spiritual master and my father were very close friends, classmates. Your spiritual master would pack his lunch, come to our place. So play chess with my father. Every time your spiritual master, Abhay used to win, and then they would go to the school. So like that, they used to spend a lot of time. So that time, Abhay used to tell my father, Mr. Senior Ganguly, that in future I'll do something. That time you should help me. So the Ganguly used to ask, what is that you are going to do? What help you want? That time will tell. So time passed by. So Prabhupada got married, he also got married, he became busy in his own life, Prabhupada became busy in his own life. So later, this junior Ganguly, who is in Bangalore now, businessman, he came to the high school. So by then, he came to know that the friend of his father has become a very big saintly person. He has become Jagat Guru. He has gone to the Western world, he has propagated, taken Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Harinam Sankirtan throughout the world. So then he goes and tells his father that, Papa, your friend Abhay, he has become a great sannyasi. Whole world is recognizing and appreciating him. So father says, yeah, he has become a very big man, seems like. So then son comes to know that Prabhupada had opened center in Kolkata, that's in Albert Road. So Prabhupada was coming to Kolkata. And Prabhupada is going to stay for some days in Kolkata. So this junior Ganguly tells his father that, Swami Prabhupada is coming. So father tells, okay, you go, and if you want, you can go. So he goes 3 days continuously, he goes for morning program. And after the third day, Prabhupada sees him. So generally, son resembles some of the facial features of the father. So Prabhupada calls him and asks him, are you son of Mr. Ganguly? He says, yes, yes, Maharaj, I know you are coming. Like my father had told me that, you are my father's close friend. So Prabhupada tells, oh, where is Ganguly? Even though he has come to know, I have come to Kolkata, he has not come to meet me, bring him tomorrow. Tell him that I want to meet him. So son goes and tells his father, senior Ganguly, that, Swamiji wants to meet you. He says, no, he has become a very big man. I'm just an ordinary. He has become a spiritual messenger. Whereas I'm a Graha Medi, engrossed in this material, household life, and I have not made even a single penny worth of progress in spiritual life. How can I meet him? He's a very big man. No, I don't want to meet. Sort of, that maybe, what do you call it as a fear or kind of, maybe kind of a shame. So he didn't want it to meet. So the next day, son comes, Prabhupada asks, where is your father? He said, no, he has to send some reason. No, he says, oh no, my father is not well, that's why he didn't come. So he's not well. Prabhupada says, okay, if he is not coming, tell him that I'll come and meet him. So next day morning, that day got over. Next day morning, Prabhupada's normal routine was to go for a morning walk. Instead of going to a park, Prabhupada takes his disciples. By walk, he goes to Mr. Ganguly's house. Prabhupada with some of his disciples. And when Prabhupada is going, so many, morning walkers, so many neighbors when they see, so they also join. So many people had gathered in front of Ganguly's house. So senior Ganguly is still sleeping. Junior Ganguly was getting ready to go to temple. He comes and opens the door. Prabhupada tells, where is your father? In Bengali, his conversation is going on in Bengali. So he tells, father is still sleeping. Okay, let me go. Because that was the same house which Prabhupada used to visit. That's how Prabhupada, without any address, he could go to that house. He knew where his bedroom is. Prabhupada straight goes into his bedroom, pulls a chair and sits beside the bed and wakes Mr. Ganguly. So all people are gathered outside. Some devotees have come inside. Mr. Ganguly woke up with a surprise. Swami is sitting here. His friend Abhay, now he has become a big Swamiji. Prabhupada tells, you didn't come to meet me? In a friendly way, in a Bengali, they are exchanging words. He said, no, I'm sick. And what sick? बचपन से तुम्हारा यही आदत है, तुम आए नहीं मिलने, थोड़ा उसको डांट के. So then senior Ganguly wakes up and he calls his wife, no, all these guests have come, please bring something. So what typical Bengali house, what it will have? Rasgullas. So they bring rasgullas. So Prabhupada squeezes rasgulla, eats rasgulla, drinks that sugar syrup, chashni. So then Prabhupada tells, I have come to meet you personally because I have something important job for you. So then senior Ganguly remembers that, in childhood he always used to say that, in future I will do something, that time I need something from you. I will take something from you. So now he recalls, what Prabhupada actually was referring that time as a young boy Abhay, an indication of such a worldwide movement. So then he tells, he was a Sanskrit professor. And he was a retired government Sanskrit professor from university. So you are a Sanskrit professor. So you should come to our temple, teach my disciples Sanskrit. And also, you should join my movement. I'll take you. So you should join and you should travel with me to all our centers and teach Sanskrit to all my disciples all over the world. He tells, no, I'm very old. What I can do? I'm very old. I'm almost dilapidated. My body is becoming invalid. Prabhupada says, don't worry, I'll take you. You don't worry, I will take you. So this conversation got over. Prabhupada goes back to the temple. So his son was in high school. He was a student. He goes to the school. He comes back at around 3 p.m. in the afternoon. His father calls for the son, retired man sitting in the house. So the moment son came, he said, get me a glass of water. So he drinks one glass of water. He just leans behind his pillow. He passes away. Senior Ganguly passes away. So this junior Ganguly is recalling in front of a devotee in Bangalore, sitting in Bangalore after about maybe 10-15 years, because he finished high school, he finished his degree, he took up business, his business expanded, he made Bangalore as his headquarters, he built his entire, setup in the Bangalore. So maybe after 15-20 years, so he's recalling to the devotee, he's explaining to the devotee. So Prabhupada was not an ordinary person. He was a great personality, which he could even see the future as well. So when your spiritual master Prabhupada told my father that, I will take you, please come. He was not referring to taking him physically to the other centers. Prabhupada was referring to, I'll take you back to Godhead. You just be ready. So morning Prabhupada went, afternoon he passed away. So that son was recalling, Prabhupada was such a great personality. Because Srila Prabhupada did that favor to my father, so that's why I am giving this donation to you. Even though I am not convinced of your preaching, even though I am not convinced of your convincing tactics, but still it is because of Srila Prabhupada which I am giving. Instead of double two, he gave 10,000, and he also revealed the fact that, he is already a life member of ISKCON. I am already a life member, I don't need any other membership, so you just take this donation. Then he regularly started attending Sunday programs also in the temple. Even though he was a big man, he would come and attend Sunday programs. Why? Is it because of devotees preaching? It was because of Prabhupada. So he had a great opportunity of meeting Prabhupada, and he received the message. In our case, people, even though they would not have met Prabhupada, but even today, who is preaching? It is Srila Prabhupada who is preaching. When we are going out and telling someone to donate, or telling some noble soul to dedicate his life, it's actually Srila Prabhupada who is doing these miracles and preaching to that soul. We are just like a postman delivering that letter to the person. So if you remember this throughout our life, whenever we go step out of the temple, any service, we should remember, actually it is Srila Prabhupada's mercy, it is Srila Prabhupada's work, I am just assisting him. In that way, if we all look at the person who brought us to Krishna consciousness, sometimes that person is no more in Krishna consciousness. He himself is not practicing KC, but he brought me to KC. And we are still practicing KC. How is that? If it was that person's mercy or preaching, we would have also gone along with him. But it is actually Srila Prabhupada who is preaching, Srila Prabhupada who is doing all the activities in this temple. So that's what a disciple should always carry. That's how that fact will always make us more humble. That will not allow us to become more pride, arrogant. Arrogance comes when we start thinking ourselves as very powerful. I have done something great. I am very extraordinary. I am very intelligent. That's how arrogance or pride comes. But what is the value of our intelligence? It has no use unless there is a mercy of spiritual master. What is the mercy of spiritual master? He can make mukam karoti vachalam. A dumb man can speak. And langum fangayate girim. Lame man can cross the mountains. When we cannot walk, how we can cross the mountain? Spiritual master can make those miracles. Then what to speak of us? So in one occasion, Prabhupada mentions a devotee is telling Prabhupada, before we came to Krishna consciousness, we were all loitering on the street. Hippies, no? Loitering on the street, wasting our life, thinking that sense gratification is the only goal of life. But you came and you really delivered us. Prabhupada says yes. Prabhupada gave an analogy, which is a kaddu, pumpkin. Pumpkin, right? Pumpkin, when it is allowed to naturally dry, so all the pulp will get dried, so that becomes a very good material. So you make some cut out of that. Take one bamboo stick which is lying on the street. Take one string which is lying somewhere. Make a combination of all the three. What it will become? Veena, musical instrument Veena. What Narada Muni plays Veena. It is made out of this one. Traditionally, even I have seen Veena is made out of this pumpkin, dried pumpkin shell. All the pulp will naturally dry. Then you cut, remove all the seeds, whatever inside. So that becomes a very good musical instrument. Then tied with a bamboo stick and tied with a string. You start playing that is a veena. Tambura. So Prabhupada gives this analogy. I was like that dried pumpkin. You are like that string. Someone was laying like a bamboo stick. So we all of us came together and we are making such a good sound now. Transcendental sound vibration is coming out of this combination. So that was Prabhupada's humility. Prabhupada was comparing. Prabhupada also said, I was also loitering on the street in New York, not knowing where to go. I was not aware. Every second, third, I used to think and go to the Shindia navigation company and asking them, when is the next ship? They would say, okay, after 3 days, this ship is again going back to India. So Prabhupada would, okay, after 3 days, I'm winding up and I'm going back to India. You will come back, but you will get some motivation, some inspiration. Then you will say, no, not this time. Next week I'll go. So like that, couple of attempts Prabhupada made to go back. So that's what Prabhupada is comparing. I was also writing on the street. You are lying on the street. We all came together and we are making this transcendental sound vibration. Like veena, like tambura. So it's Srila Prabhupada, like, stone. Just block of stone. If it is properly carved by an expert craftsman, it will become a beautiful deity. So we are all like that actually, but Prabhupada has crafted a beautiful out of all our useless life. So that every day we should remember. Then at least devotee will be protected from that false pride, arrogance, false ego. And we will think that my time should not get wasted. Even a single moment of time should not be wasted. Always we should be thinking of Krishna. Always we should be engaged in the service of Krishna. With this, I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki